Morning guys, welcome to day 6 of our epic Midwest Gascoyne region adventure. And if this setting looks a little familiar, it's because firstly we did it 2 seconds ago because I forgot to turn the video on, and also because we've only just wrapped up the last video. But anyway, that aside, we are now heading from Mt Augustus down to Kew. It's about 500 odd kilometres, a 7-hour drive, much of it on gravel, and we've been warned that some of the road conditions are a little bit marginal, but we should have no trouble getting through. So tonight we're hoping to shoot Walga Rock, which is a bit of I'm not 100% sure what's there, but we've been told it's worth going and checking out, so we'll do that. From there on, for the next day or two, we're just playing it by ear a little bit, seeing how much we can shoot, because we know that there's some suboptimal weather coming through, a bit of cloud, and another major cold front is about to hit the west coast. So how far inland that is going to travel and how far north, we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, we will catch up again once we're getting ready to scout and continue the journey. Okay, see you guys. Been a fair bit of rain out this way in the last few days, so we've had quite a few little water crossings like this. Even with our 2-wheel drive we can get through them, but yeah, they're a bit of a hazard when you just sneak up on them. And you can see how much water there still is in some of these little rivers. Interesting little spot here. We're just stopping for a little explore. I think it's Mount Gould Lockup it's called, so we'll head over that way. Few nice little subjects here for astro, but unfortunately it's just a bit too far from where we're staying tonight. It's a good 500 kilometre round trip. I think we've got plenty to shoot from Kew, so we'll pass on this one, but never know, one day we might be back. So our expectations for this accommodation were not high, but on walking in, very impressive. Kitchen, luxury bathroom, modern fit out, desk, big screen TV, and a balcony and outback views of Great Northern Highway. After unpacking and a quick bite, we headed out for an explore. At the turn of the 19th century, Kew was the centre of the Murchison goldfields with a population of more than 10,000. These days, Kew's population is measured in the hundreds, but much of the impressive history is still on display. Just on the outskirts of town can be found the ruins of the old Kew Hospital. Okay, so this is the old hospital in Kew. Beautiful orientation here for a setting Milky Way. So the setting Milky Way will come down through this region just here. Whether we're going to get a chance to shoot this is questionable. We're pretty close into town, so there's going to be a fair bit of light pollution here. May or may not get back to this location. Our next stop was the Bigbell mine ghost town, located about 40 kilometres out of Kew. The town thrived between 1936 to 1951, over which time over 700,000 ounces of fine gold were produced. Okay, so this is the Bigbell Hotel, which was built back in the early 1900s by a mining company. There's a whole town site here. And when the mine closed in the 1950s, basically it was all deserted and fell into disrepair from there. So this is looking towards the southwest. So we've got the Milky Way rising up through this region, which makes for an interesting composition. And I can also walk around to the other side. Interesting rising Milky Way composition. So two options here. So we might come back and shoot this one, I'd say. Our final scouting stop was Walga Rock, one of the largest granite monoliths in Australia, and also the home to an amazing array of rock art created by the traditional owners of the land, the Wiradjuri people. Okay, so this is Walga Rock, also known as Uluru of the West. Apparently it is the second largest monolith after Uluru. In this area in here, this little cave, there is some amazing Aboriginal rock art. This has now been recognised as the largest outdoor Aboriginal rock art collection in Western Australia, with nearly 1,000 Wiradjuri motifs, including handprints, depictions of animals and Dreamtime stories. There are also many theories relating to a sailing ship, which was first reported back in 1928. From an astro perspective, we are facing southeast in this direction, so obviously we've got a rising Milky Way through this section. This is our first composition. We're going to shoot the foreground during the blue hour. Because it's so huge, it's just basically impossible to light. I've done one shot with the Laowa, just a single shot, like a hero shot with a 10mm in landscape mode. I've also done a full pano with the 35mm. The intention then is to do a full panorama with the 35mm, a tracked pano over the top. And whatever else takes our fancy. So certainly an epic sight here. We'll get cracking because we've got a big agenda for tonight as usual. So we're just having a few minutes to chill here. We've been running around like mad things trying to set up the low-level lighting for the rock and our time lapses. Trying to light something that was so big was challenging.
Oh, fun.
So anyway, we've got 3 lights on. We know they're far from perfect, but I think it's the best we can do after 6 days of late nights where our intellect is starting to wane a little bit in our ability to problem solve.
And so is my voice. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit today.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we've got a little bit of time to kill now. So we've shot our our foreground for the blue hour. So it's now about 7:40-ish. We're going to wait until about maybe 8:30 for the Milky Way to rise a little bit higher in the sky, and then we're going to do our tracked panos. I'm going to do a 35mm tracked pano. What are you going to do, Virat?
I'm going to try 50mm pano, see how it goes initially, and then I'll go back to 35 and 20.
Yep. We want to leave the time lapses running until about
10:30 maybe?
10:30, thereabouts. Then we'll head back to the Bigbell Hotel. Okay, so we're going to just kick back here for a little while, and we will touch base again a little bit later in the evening. Good afternoon, guys. It is now the next day. Missed out on doing the wrap up last night for a couple of reasons. I think partly tiredness, but so we finished up at Walga Rock. We're very happy with the results we got out there. Tracked some perfect panoramas, and we're really happy with the foreground using Walga Rock as very large subject. And from what else did we do? We did some time lapses,
And some selfies.
tried a couple of selfies. You may or may not see those depending on how they turn out. And from there we headed back to the Bigbell townsite to try and shoot the abandoned hotel. We had a few issues with that because the road that the Bigbell Hotel is situated on is very busy. It services a mine site out there, so there were large 3-trailer trucks driving up and down with high beams on, and also we had one truck broken down actually almost outside of the hotel itself, casting a lot of red light pollution onto the hotel. So we've tried to take a shot.
Yeah.
We got a couple of shots and some of the surrounding buildings, so hopefully we'll be able to use that for something. And we are now on the road again, heading to a place called Sandstone, which is 2.5 hours southeast of Kew, a rock formation out there called London Bridge. So we're looking forward to that. And if you were keen to see how the last shoot of our trip went, please keep an eye out for Gascoyne Odyssey Part 5 coming soon. In fact, why not subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it? In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the images from Walga Rock and the Bigbell Ghost Town. See you next time.